Chapter 2, The Stoic Dad, featuring Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. A cup of milk hits the floor, the toddler screams, the dog starts barking, someone's lost a shoe, the other has decided they no longer believe in pants, and your phone is buzzing in the other room. In this moment of chaos, it's worth asking, what would Marcus Aurelius do? Would the Roman emperor and philosopher calmly sip his herbal tea, nodding in composed acceptance as the orange juice seeps into the carpet? More likely he'd pause, observe.
Then gently remind himself, and us, of one of Stoicism's central truths. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength.
Welcome to Stoicism, the philosophy built for modern fatherhood. Stoicism, a philosophy for the uncontrollable. The Stoics weren't detached robots, they were realists. They knew that storms come, children cry, plans fall apart. The goal wasn't to eliminate emotion, it was to manage it wisely. For Epictetus, who was born enslaved and endured hardship his entire life, this was survival.
It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters.
For Marcus Aurelius, who governed a vast and crumbling empire while also being a father of at least 13 children, Stoicism was how he held on to sanity. His meditations are full of little self-pep talks, reminders to stay kind, to resist anger, to keep showing up with virtue, no matter what life hurled at him. Seneca too often returned to this idea. In his letters he encouraged mental preparation for adversity.
Misfortune, he wrote, is more tolerable when you have prepared your mind to meet it.
Sound familiar? Every parent eventually learns that daily life with kids is an advanced seminar in unexpected events. The middle-of-the-night vomiting bug, the forgotten lunch that triggers a school-wide crisis, the missing lovey at bedtime that's suddenly as emotionally significant as the Declaration of Independence. Stoicism offers a lifeline. You don't have to control everything, you just have to control yourself. Stoic mantras for the modern dad. Control the controllable. You can't force a child to sleep, but you can manage your response when they don't. Expect the unexpected. Kids are walking curveballs. When something goes wrong, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "Ah yes, this is part of the job." Return to calm. The Stoics believed that returning to reason, breathing, stepping back, was a daily exercise. Not a failure, but a feature of wise living. Live by values, not vibes. Just because you feel like yelling doesn't mean you must. Choose your values. Let action follow. Stoicism doesn't remove the chaos, it teaches us to stand in the eye of the storm with integrity. Dad. Fail number 07. The silent explosion. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius, I once vowed to say nothing during the next crisis. I will remain unmoved, I thought. I will be the rock. So when the toddler upended a bowl of blueberries onto the beige rug and the baby started crying and the dog threw up simultaneously, I just stood there silent, stoic. My wife entered, saw my tight-lipped expression and asked, "Are you okay?" "I'm practicing virtue," I said through gritted teeth. Apparently turning purple with restraint is not the same as being calm. Lesson: Stoicism isn't about bottling up. It's about transformation, moving from instinct to intention. A stoic day in dad life. Let's apply some stoic thinking to a typical parenting gauntlet. Scenario 1. The morning scramble. You've prepped breakfast, it's rejected on sight. Stoic move. Pause, accept that appetite is out of your control, offer an alternative or don't, either way you stay grounded. Scenario 2. The school drop-off meltdown. One child forgot their project, another refuses to get out of the car. Stoic move, acknowledge frustration, then shift inward. What part of this is up to me? What virtues can I practice here? Patience, firmness, kindness. Scenario 3. The bedtime backslide. You're 5 books deep, you turned off the light, now there's a sudden urgent need for socks. Stoic move, smile inwardly, repeat, the obstacle is the way. Stoicism turns everyday obstacles into opportunities to grow. Parenting as premeditatio malorum. One of Stoicism's most powerful and misunderstood practices is premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of hardship. The Stoics would intentionally visualize things going wrong, not to despair, but to rehearse peace. So imagine, the toddler will not nap, the toy will be broken, you will be misunderstood. Knowing this ahead of time doesn't make you cynical, it makes you ready. I've begun using this in my own parenting. Before school mornings I pause and mentally prepare. Someone will spill something. Someone will complain about socks. I will likely be interrupted mid-sentence. And when those things inevitably happen, I'm not surprised. I'm steady. That steadiness is Stoicism at work. Sidebar: Stoic Dad's emergency toolkit. A phrase: only what is up to me. A pause. Breathe deeply before reacting. A journal. End your day asking, what did I control well? Where did I let externals rule me? A reset. Set a screen time limit for yourself. Reclaim your calm. A laugh. Humor is not anti-Stoic, it's what keeps us sane. The Stoic is teacher and student. Seneca saw philosophy as a dialogue, not a set of rules, but a relationship. And as fathers, we're in a constant dialogue. With our kids, with ourselves, with the world we want to help shape. That means we're both teacher and student every day.
When I calmly hold my son's hand after a tantrum, I teach him that strong emotions don't make love disappear. When I lose my cool and then apologize, I teach him that owning failure is stronger than pretending to be right. When I sit beside him in silence, just being there, I teach him that presence matters more than speeches. And I teach myself, too, that I can be soft without being weak, that I can be wrong and still be worthy, that my kids don't need a perfect dad, they need a present, growing one.
Marcus Aurelius wrote that everything, even hardship, is part of nature's order. The universe is change, he said. Life is opinion. That's a hard pill to swallow when the baby won't sleep and your toddler just dumped yogurt into your shoe. But it's true. Nothing stays the same. Not the sleepless nights, not the tantrum phase, not the weird obsession with band-aids. Everything changes. And through those changes, we get the rare chance to grow. Fatherhood isn't a detour from the good life. It is the proving ground. It's where we ask, will I act from principle or emotion? Will I pursue virtue or comfort? Will I grow or will I just react? The Stoics don't demand that you nail it. They invite you to practice. And on the days when I do, when I breathe through the chaos, when I offer a kind word in the middle of the mess, when I reflect instead of react, I see a different kind of power. Not the power to control others, the power to govern myself. That, I think, is what Marcus was getting at. That, I think, is what our kids need most.
You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius.
Think of a moment this week when you were triggered. What would it have looked like to respond rather than react? Chapter summary: The Stoic Dad. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control the chaos around us, only our response to it. That makes it surprisingly practical for dads whose days are full of flying snacks, tantrums, and emotional curveballs, from reaction to reflection, from control to calm, from fix it now to breathe first, act with virtue. Peace doesn't come from perfect kids or perfect days, it comes from practicing presence, from learning to hold your ground when everything is falling apart, including your own patience. You will get triggered, you will yell when you swore you wouldn't. But Stoicism isn't about never failing, it's about returning, regaining control not over your kids, but over yourself. Real strength as a father doesn't look like dominance. It looks like emotional discipline, chosen over and over again in the ordinary chaos of family life.